In 13 days, I'm leaving to go to Australia and then travel in and around Southeast Asia for a few months. But I have a little bit of a problem. I want to finish reading this duology before I leave. Normally, I wouldn't bat an eye at that time frame, but I started Six of Crows a few weeks ago and I have not made as much progress as I would like. So I thought it might be fun to do a little countdown video to vlog how much I read each day leading up to our departure. So I guess there's really nothing else left to say except we may as well get started with day. I decided to get out of the house today to do a little bit of reading and hopefully lessen some of my distractions, so I've come to a local greenhouse in my area. It's recently become one of my favorite places to visit because it's like getting a little taste of summer in what has turned out to be a very cold winter. So I'm gonna head inside, walk around a little bit, enjoy the greenery, and hopefully find a nice little cozy spot to post up and get some reading done. Perfect spot. It is so cold in this car after being in the warmth of the greenhouse for so long, but look how much of the story I got through today. That is a huge chunk of the book, I have to say. And I'm in like the thick of it right now. Like so much stuff happened in the part that I just read. I cannot wait to continue. But for now, it is time for me to go home. So I will see you tomorrow for... I actually didn't read that much today. I was able to sneak in a little bit of time this morning, but only about like 3 or 4 chapters. So only about this much, which is not much at all. But that's okay because I have a really good reason why I wasn't able to read that much today. This morning, we were helping a family member organize their garage a little bit because they're letting us keep some stuff in there while we're away. And then after that, we went over to our friend's house to hang out with them before we took off for our trip as well. And they have a very, very cute dog. So even though I didn't get as much reading done today as I would have hoped, it's okay because it was totally worth it. And I can always try again tomorrow for... I have a really big chunk of time to read right now, and I'm thinking I might be able to finish book 1 today. So I'm gonna go fill up this bad boy and then get cozy. Book 1 is complete. This makes me feel so much more confident that I can complete this duology before leaving, because also I know I said I was departing in 13 days at the start of this video, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have 13 days to finish these books, because a couple days before I leave, my days are packed, which means likely no reading. So book 1 is done. And hopefully I can maybe start book 2 today, and if not, that's okay because I'll start it tomorrow on... So I didn't end up starting book 2 today because I ended up not reading any pages today. Oh God. But I think it's gonna be okay. I think I'm still on a really good track to start book 2 and finish it before I run out of time. So I'm not gonna worry about it. What's done is done, and I will try again tomorrow for... Today was a very busy day. This morning, my boyfriend and I were running around getting things ready and organized for our trip. And then this afternoon, we went and watched my niece play basketball, which was really nice because my nephews were also there. And this is probably the last time we're going to get to see them before we take off for our trip. So we just like really enjoyed our time with them. So I wouldn't trade it for the world. But because it's been so busy, it just means that I haven't been able to read today. But my boyfriend is about to leave for the evening, which means that I have the night to myself. And you know I'm going to start Cricket Kingdom. And I'm really glad that I have all of this time tonight because I was feeling pretty confident about starting and finishing this in the next couple days. But looking at it now, I'm not feeling so confident. So I'm gonna get in my chair and I'm gonna start reading. I'm gonna take a quick little break and get a snack and then get back to reading. And I'm probably gonna find a new spot to read because it's a little bit cold back here and there are warmer spots I could be. It is about 11:30 and I read 126 pages. So some pretty decent progress. I'm not gonna lie, I actually almost got to the end of part 2. But I am getting pretty tired, so I'm probably gonna pack it up and head to bed soon. But I'm hoping that I can keep up the same momentum that I had this evening, tomorrow for... I ended up staying up a little bit later and reading more last night. I ended on page 170 and that got me into part 3 of the book. And I'm not sure how many more pages that is than what I was on when I initially said goodnight to y'all yesterday, but it looks like this much. And then this morning I got a couple hours of reading in, and then my boyfriend's sister organized like a goodbye get together for both of our families. So I spent most of the afternoon just catching up with people, seeing them, spending time with them before we leave, which was really, really nice. I had such a good time. I did consider filming a little bit of it, but then I decided that I just want it to be as present as possible and enjoy my time with family. So I didn't end up filming. But then after that, I snuck down for another half an hour of reading and I was able to get through this much more of the story, which I think is a pretty decent chunk. I'm almost about halfway through book 2, so I am feeling very confident that I can make this happen, but we'll see how the rest of the week goes. So I don't know, I guess I'll see you tomorrow for... So it's snowing today, which for me is like instant depression. So I've come back to the greenhouse to do some reading. I'm hoping, because it's not March break anymore, I'm hoping it's a little bit less busy than it was last week. And I can find a spot to post up really quickly. But there are a lot of cars in the parking lot. I'm hoping they belong to the construction workers that are working in the area. But yeah, I'm gonna head on in there, see if I can find my spot and get some reading done. Ah, it's so cold, so we're running. It's time for me to go home, but I do have to express one more time how much I love this greenhouse because it is the most peaceful place to read. Being surrounded by all of the greenery, tropical plants, fresh flowers, it is just so calming. And I love the fact that when I need a break from reading, I can just get up and walk around and enjoy all of that. At one point, it actually started to pour freezing rain, and hearing that rain hit the greenhouse roof while I was inside toasty and warm was just like so magical. And I was able to get over the halfway mark for book 2, which I'm pretty happy about because I realized today that I only have 3 more days where I can actually fit reading into my schedule. After that, all of the rest of the days are filled with stuff I need to do before leaving. So I'm getting a little bit nervous with that time frame. Hopefully tomorrow, though, I'll be able to get a good chunk of reading done for... Today was a day where I kind of just had to fit reading in where I could. I read a little bit while I held Freya after she got her eye drops this morning because we have to make sure that she doesn't scratch her eye after them. And then again during breakfast and while I got ready for the day, which honestly, I'm pretty proud about that one because I had to finagle a way to keep the book open and I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but I did. And then I fit a few pages in here and there in between appointments and phone calls and taking Freya to the vet, and it's just been a very busy day. But that being said, I have almost gotten to the last part of book 2, so I don't know. The next 2 days are super, super busy, and they are the only 2 days that I have left to read. So at this point, it's anyone's guess if I'm gonna get there. I'm so close I can taste it, but I'm not 100% confident that I can finish this last little bit before leaving. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how much reading I get done tomorrow. I didn't read today. The second to last reading day that I had, and I completely dropped the ball. It just seemed like every time I knocked something off of my to-do list in order to get ready for this trip, something else got at it, and all of a sudden it's nighttime and my brain does not have the capacity to take on any new information. And I am at the peak of the story right now. It would be an insult to try and read it, if I'm being honest. So that just leaves tomorrow, the final day of the challenge. It is all or nothing on day. I tried really, really hard to finish this book today, and I did it. Please, 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 the applause is not necessary, but welcomed. But in all honesty, this was a really close call. Today was one of those days where I just had to fit reading in where I could. So I read a few pages while I had breakfast this morning, and then a couple more pages while I got ready for the day. But I think what really helped was I was able to find just like a decent chunk of time in between a couple appointments today where I could sit down and just completely focus on the book. I am just so happy that I'm going to be able to put this duology back on my shelf knowing exactly how the story ended. And honestly, what a story it was. This has quickly become one of my new favorite fantasy duologies. I love a ragtag crew of criminals with big hearts. I love a good heist. I love a good backstory. And this duology had all of those things and more. But I think the thing I loved the most about it was that I couldn't really guess what was going to come next or how they were going to get out of a situation. And for me, that is huge because I do find that after you read a certain genre for a while, things become predictable. And I just couldn't predict this book. So I highly recommend. There were moments during this challenge where I felt very stressed because I was not sure if I was going to pull it off, but honestly, in the end, I just had a really good time with it. And it taught me something important. There is always enough time in the day to read. It's just that sometimes you have to get creative about it.